Good morning. Welcome to another dive stream. This will be dive stream 868 for the ROV Sebastian. It's another shallow one. It's not quite as soupy as our previous record for visibility on this particular cruise, but it's still pretty soupy. We're just shy, or well, just now we bumped over to 62 meters depth. We're here to collect some push cores. Probably not going to scoot around all that much on this particular dive, so probably be pretty quick, but still want to stream it for you. On the way down, we didn't really see much, just some jellies going past in the gloom, but we actually pretty much reached the bottom before all of our floats were on, so not a whole lot of midwater. There won't be a whole lot on the way back up either. So again, another shallow dive, pretty poor visibility, but we're here to get our push cores. I'll be bringing the rest of the mics and mission control up, and you'll be hearing some of the chatter here as we get started on dive 868.
So we've got enough to be doing what we need to be doing. Are you happy with this spot? Do you want me to move? Because we've kind of dragged the seafloor a little bit here.
Shoot. Yeah.
You want me to come back a little bit and then land down again?
If you could, yeah.
Just because I'm trying to keep it as tight as
right.
I can, but we're also heavy, so I'm going to be kicking up the dust.
Yeah.
Every time.
Do you know what he did? He's fun the pots and like to exercise the functions.
Why it was on?
No, while it was on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can you get his magic touch on it?
No. But if I don't know if you're on comps, but if the document looks crappy and built, you can pitch it out with those levers too. If it looks like it's hot.
Oh, the manual ones.
Yeah, if it looks like it's rubbing up against the edge there, just move the docking head up a little touch so that it's like sitting in the center of the docking head. You can do that off the controls.
Yeah, it's pretty faced out. When you see go out and you want it, it's gonna go.
Let's see. This could be an undisturbed spot. Alright. So, which push cores would you like first?
8, 9, 10, 11.
8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah. Start there. I might just, if it's going well here, I might just do them all here.
Right.
Hey Brett,
They come all the way up
Yeah.
when they
towards
do
here.
push core 11, can you ask them to not go past the end of the electrical tape?
Yeah. Okay.
2 centimeters from the end.
Alright, if you want more portraits.
Oh, I thought you said you were coming out.
No, well, I was just to not like screw all the sea right in front of us, but we want undisturbed.
If we can, I mean the best you can, yeah.
Yeah.
Breakfast for it says a time. Like within an hour. Should I go on the engineers and check this control?
Yeah.
If we need to recover smoothly.
Yeah, I see if Neil. Yeah, see if Neil can work his magic again. He seems to think he can. try and get it like as far out as you can, because then we'll probably line them.
Yeah, we'll
Like
probably.
the closer ones would be at the back. You know what I mean?
Just a line of 4 down the middle, right? A mohawk and push course, that chest.
Yeah, we'll do them all here, if we can. So,
Leave yourself.
so
start
just leave yourself
out
room.
far and
Yeah.
work your way back in if we're doing all of them. 'Cause you need
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can get the other sides too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one's 2 centimeters from the end as well?
No, it's just number 11 that we gotta
Just one. Okay.
watch the.
So just bury this one if I can.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be in for that long.
Was you last time you had that same error? What you did to reset?
Neil did it. So he like worked on the game pots and turned it off and on.
Okay, zero up the game pot.
He rotated them a little bit.
Okay.
I didn't see it.
You're
but-
on. We're still in dive mode, but I mean, okay.
Well, I'll be honest, actually, it's alright
It's
because we
fine.
can
Mhm.
see,
See the
yeah,
floats.
see the floats and stuff, so yeah, it's fine.
Roger.
Thanks anyway, Phil. Thanks for your conscientious observation.
Don't be mean to me. That's the one
11,
for
so
the top of the
within
electrical tape.
1 to 2 centimeters short of the electrical tape.
Short of the election.
That's the instructions I have. Yep. So leave about 2 centimeters of the electrical tape sticking out, I guess.
Just move the game pots. Move the game pots.
Yeah. That's fine. Alright, happy?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's beautiful. Great. Let's keep them rolling.
Get out of the coach court back.
So-
Somebody's taking some abuse.
Which, I want all of these on the porch as well. Yeah. Do you
Yep.
want me to come out a bit more over the porch? Does that make it easier for you to touch it?
It would have.
I can't.
It would've.
the whole time.
A little bit more if you want. Where's the challenge? I make it easy for you.
Right? Where's the learning?
Yeah.
Where's the learnings? Just rotate your jaws. Use all your joints as you're going.
Hey everyone, this is Brett Baker. Just figure I'd do some talking here. We're at a shallow spot, so we're doing a quick dive to get mud. Not super exciting in terms of fauna or animals or anything like that. But it will be exciting in terms of the samples that we're getting, because we are on the shelf off the coast of Uruguay, and there should be a lot of organic matter and kind of a good place for what we are looking for, which is Asgard Archaea microbes that are our closest ancestor on the tree of life. We have a team of international scientists on board, about 25 scientists from the US, Uruguay, and Czech Republic, Cambridge, Harvard, University of San Diego, or University of California, San Diego, Santa Barbara,
All the way out to the porch.
UT Austin, which is where I'm from.
I've got a little bit more
I
bush
have-
from out west, if you want.
Yeah.
Of course, we have great scientists from Uruguay as well.
Real slow.
We, yeah.
Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Who said that?
Galen.
Oh, God.
Because he said if they go here, there's like sand deposits, so the
Yeah.
cores won't be the same. So they should stay
Yeah.
like that.
Okay. We have a request to try and core. There's ripples, and they're saying if you can get it in the base of the ripples.
He said they're already doing that.
You're already doing that, yeah. So like, yeah, I know.
I can tell. That's what you were wanting.
I mean,
So obvious.
But just to continue.
to me, this is a sort of a big ask. But I'm just saying, I'm relaying what they're saying, and it looks like you're doing it already. So if there's space in, ooh, I use my finger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're in one now. So it looks like there's one here. It's a little bit darker. Yeah, just keep
Yeah,
like that.
he said like
Sweet.
on here
So I
it's
think
like
you're fine.
sand deposits.
Carry on,
So if
carry
you
on.
go
Well,
on
record
here,
a little
you're
bit.
gonna-
Give you a bit more.
Yeah.
You Tyrone.
Yeah, I can keep this in the
Carry
slide
on.
there.
I think they're watching from
Yeah, the lab, yeah.
Like
Oh, that's
our
fun.
special ones online.
Special ones mine.
Not the starfish.
There's a starfish.
Starfish.
We are gonna do our best to not disturb him.
He knows. He's getting
Yep,
out of there.
he's moving away.
He knows.
I'm multitasking, but if you guys have any questions, go ahead and type them in. We're happy to answer. We have several people in the room who can answer questions.
What number was that?
Yeah, that's about it there.
Yeah.
The one that just went in.
Tell them thrust oceanography. I'll give you a little bit
I
of
think it was
thrust
9.
just to help it. And then if you re-index, I'll come off the thrust and you see you're happy. And then you should come off smooth every time. Alright, coming back over the porch.
Yeah. Nine.
Yeah, happy there.
Yeah, it's fine.
How long are we diving, Brett? That's what they're asking.
That's a question from the chat.
Someone asked how long we're diving. We've only been in the water for about 45 minutes, and we're going to collect 16 push cores at this site, which will take probably roughly 45 minutes to an hour, and then we're going straight up to the top, going back. So it's a really quick dive today. It's very shallow. Takes about an hour to go 1,000 meters.
Re-index.
Just to transit between the surface and the ocean floor.
Number 6.
Push down as you come. I'll push down as you come down as well. And if we get a bit of resistance, then we'll just go slow. Pushing down. Nice. Yeah. Good job.
Nice work.
Yeah, so it's bottoming out there. Right, so new re-index. Come off the thrust.
Beautiful. fourth one that went in?
9.
Six. Oh, and the
9
fourth
was the
one.
4th one
Yeah.
that went in.
What was the?
The last one that went in was 6. That was the 5th.
So it's
Gotta start over because I had 8, 11,
8, 11, 10, 9, 6.
9,
And this is 7.
6.
Wunderbar.
This is 7, you say? Huh.
How about that?
Number 6 is number 7.
Number 5 is 6.
Is there any sort of tree line phenomenon?
5 is 6.
5 was 6 and 6 is 7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's 6 right there.
Mhm.
7.
That's 7.
That's 6 is 7.
It is the 6th core being deployed as number 7.
You should get up there and talk a little bit. Say hi to
Is this
everybody.
one?
I think so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna make Emily Aguilar Pine talk to you because she's ready. She can tell you all about who she is.
Who I am. Natalie, did you want to talk at all?
No, you're good.
Okay. Alrighty. Hi everyone. I'm Emily. I'm one of the scientists here. I haven't been on the dive stream quite as much, so I'm excited to talk to y'all. Let's see. I'm reading the chat a little bit. I think a while ago, someone asked how long we're gonna be here. Estamos en Uruguay hasta el 3 de diciembre. So we'll be here just under 2 more weeks. Yeah, and we're back at a shallow site, but I think we're going to be going deeper in the next dives. We'll see what happens, of course. Something that the pilots are trying to make sure of right now, I don't know if y'all heard it earlier when I was talking, but we have a geologist here with us, and he was looking at the sediment that we're coring right now. And if you can tell a little, there's some ripples. So like the way the sediment and the sand is being deposited, there's some ripples there. So we're trying to core in between those ripples so that all the cores stay pretty much the same. So that's, the pilots are doing a very good job right now, just trying to make sure they watch out for our friendly starfish and all those sediment ripples. Let's see. Any sort of tree line phenomenon in the ocean? I think that might be a Brett question. Let's see. Brett, what do you think?
What's up?
They asked if there's a tree line phenomenon in the ocean as we dive deeper.
Just a second.
Okay.
As we dive deeper, there's a time record in sediments from the surface of the water to the sediment interface and down. So the ocean is depositing organic matter and other things from the water column to the sediments. And as time goes along, assuming it's not disturbed in some way, the deeper the sediments are, the older they are. And so we'll actually be dating, as part of our analysis, we'll be dating the sediments to see how old they are. As you get closer to the shore, the sediment, what's referred to as the sedimentation rate, is the how much of that material is raining down on the sediments. Tends to be faster because it's more productive. As you can see, like this water is very productive. There's a lot of algae in it. We're close to the shorelines. There's more nutrients for microbes and phytoplankton to eat. As you go further out in the ocean, the sedimentation rates are slower. So it changes the time intervals by depth essentially.
I'm next to Natalie Sarno right now, who is very busy logging all of the cores that are going into the sediment. So I don't know if it's been explained, but every time we do a dive, we've got our pilots who are doing awesome, and everyone from the SOI crew who's helping us make sure that the ROV is deployed safely and everything. And then we've normally got at least 2 people from the science crew here. So the 2 people kind of on watch right now are Brett and Natalie. I'm just an extra. And so Brett is like our watch lead. He's making sure that we're going where we need to go, coring where we need to core, making sure we're all looking at what we need to look at. And then the second person, Natalie, is making sure that we've got a really good log in our databases of every single sample we take and every cool thing we see, so that science people can go back, and if we saw a really cool fish or if there was some really cool geology observation, we can go back after the cruise and look at everything. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. Everyone's saying good morning. Good morning. Natalie says good morning.
Good morning. Yeah.
Who else is? Okay. Danilo is also here. He's very focused watching the course, so I won't disturb him.
One of our scientists from Uruguay.
Yes, Danilo is one of the Uruguayan scientists. We're really happy to have him on board. He has been very, very busy with all of the water samples we've been taking. We've been doing a lot of water sampling, so that's a part of things that I don't think y'all get to see as much, but we do have the CTD on board, which is when the ROV is not deployed, the CTD can be deployed. They're saying hi. So yeah, Danilo and other Uruguayan scientists have been really focused on making sure that they're getting all the samples they need to get while we're out here. Who else? Luke is here. Luke Chow. He's waving. He is from Harvard, and he's actually been doing some really cool stuff with some sample preparation for some cool microscopy. So he has basically a rig set up that helps freeze certain samples very, very quickly so that cells can be imaged later with really high resolution. Luke, is that correct? Yes. Okay. I'm understanding.
Great job, Emma.
I'm understanding his setup. I saw it yesterday. It's very cool. It's a plunge freezing technique. So he very quickly freezes some of the samples with basically like a pedal that he presses, and then some of our samples that have been prepped for microscopy fall really quickly into some really cold liquid, and then are ready to be processed and looked at later once we all get back to our respective labs. So, and yes, someone explained what CTD means. Thank you. Yeah, when the CTD goes down, we can get our measures of conductivity, temperature, and depth. That helps us inform our sampling and also just tell us more about where we are for the ROV. So a lot of times we map the seafloor before the ROV goes down to make sure that the pilots aren't just deploying blindly. It helps them. And then we can learn more about the water column as we're going down in the ROV.
Yeah, another example of some of the data you get from the CTD that helps inform the ROV is the rough estimate of the particles in the water. So for example, you can see on the screen all these particles floating around, and we actually captured that on the CTD, so we knew to expect that going down.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Not kind of, it's pretty cool. Because
It's
we
amazing.
also, it's amazing. Science is amazing. We also can tell a lot just how dense, I guess, the water particulate and biological matter is in the water when we filter. So that's what we do with a lot of the water that comes off the CTD. So some days, depending on where we are and how deep we're going, it's really, really easy to filter the water, and some days it's a little difficult. I was checking in a little bit earlier before I was in here with our water filtration team who are filtering water as we speak, and they said today is a little bit of a slow day, so it means that the water is a little dense in terms of particulates, whether it be biological or not biological. Yeah. So, yeah. And you can kind of see that just from here. There's a lot of particulate matter in the water.
We'll start a little bit further than that. Maybe we're 7 miles, 'cause I don't know how much we'll get to.
How many cores do we have down?
Yeah,
We got 8,
I think 12.
12 down. Okay.
No more Spanish speaking.
Lo
Maybe
siento,
Danilo.
estoy practicando, pero no es muy bien.
Maybe Danilo can explain what he's looking
Yeah,
for.
Danilo.
Would you like to say the work you're doing, Danilo?
Danilo, do you mind explaining some of your work? I think they're wanting some Spanish. I think that might be
Yeah.
on. Or you can.
thrust.
I think it might be.
Okay, so that's.
Let's see. Danilo
Yeah, let's just try and-
está
Right, so
aquí.
about- Instead of putting that in a line, we'll try and stagger it a little
Buen
bit.
día, ¿qué tal?
Yeah, that's fine.
Mi nombre es Danilo, soy parte del equipo que está participando por la Universidad de la República de Uruguay. Nosotros estamos haciendo diversos trabajos, mediciones, fundamentalmente en la columna de agua, aunque también algunas cosas en los sedimentos. Estamos intentando caracterizar diferentes aspectos de la estructura de las comunidades, tanto desde el punto de vista taxonómicos tradicionales como genéticos, y midiendo algunos procesos como ser la producción primaria y la respiración de las comunidades, especialmente del plancton. Probablemente en los próximos puntos de muestreo también intentemos hacer algunas mediciones de procesos en los sedimentos, particularmente tasas de respiración. Eso es más o menos lo que nos ha tenido ocupados hasta el momento y esperamos seguir intentando en los próximos días.
Yes, there was a question about sunlight. So there's actually lights on the ROV Sebastian, and that's the light that you're seeing on the seafloor here. There is no sunshine. So you'll notice that the push core, that the arm just released from 12, it's further out of the sediment. So we've probably hit something hard underneath the sediment. So we were trying to troubleshoot if we could push it in further, but the pilots are now moving on because they could not get it to go any further.
That last
Okay.
one.
Yeah, let's
Try
do
it
that.
separately from all
There
the
you
rest
go.
of them.
Yeah. I'm just thinking it might fall out.
Yeah. We'll leave from the last one.
Yeah.
Somewhere else.
I like how the starfish is sitting between all of our cores.
It had its, like a tip of its, one of its arms was on the core. I don't know
Hugging
if
it.
it's still there. Let's see. Did you mark him?
The starfish.
Mm.
I'll do it on this one. I think I did earlier.
Yeah. He's got his little arm
Oh, yeah.
on the core.
Just overseeing our coring.
Yeah, keeping that one safe.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to mess with those cameras.
This guy right here.
Yeah, I think we've got a set for it, but I'm not sure. But I want to keep the dive,
Yeah, no
the
worries.
launch mode cameras on.
T4 cam's not turned on.
You'll see the purple floating mass near the robot arm. That's a Cnidaria. It's the same family as jellies. Not exactly sure what it is, but that's the closest I can get.
Any special reason? No, so today we don't have a special reason for surrounding the starfish with the push cores. I think this just happens to be where we wanted to start. It actually has moved around a little bit since we started coring, so it's been getting closer to our cores.
It actually has one of its arms on one of our cores, which was not the case earlier.
It moved over and touched our core. Natalie, how deep do you think sunlight was today?
Like when did it stop?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't remember on this specific dive, but usually the sunlight is actually very quickly goes away when you're diving in the water column, because light can't reach very deep in water.
I don't think they started the stream before we got to the bottom, right? So they didn't get to see, but this water was actually very green at the top. So that's like where a lot of the productivity is. So where a lot of the sunlight is, everything that can use it. But towards the bottom, you can see now it's not green. It was like neon green almost when we entered the water. So that dissipates relatively quickly. So nothing down here really relies on light since it's not getting any sunlight from those top layers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, Alex. The chat is saying they can't see stuff.
I mean, they're seeing whatever we're sending out.
Okay.
I think it's just the visibility is real.
Oh, okay.
not good.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Nothing we can do with that.
We see what you see.
Which makes it more impressive. The pilots are having to navigate in all this particulate.
Yeah, you can actually see in the upper corner that's one of the pilots now maneuvering the arm to take this push core. I'm always impressed by their precision and accuracy despite being on a rocking ship, being able to maneuver the sub.
Yeah?
Two push cores to go.
Two more?
Yep.
Two more. All our cores in one basket.
Yeah. So there will be 19 push cores in total, it looks like.
That's a good question.
That is a good question for
For
crew.
like,
Yeah.
for Alex.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex.
Yes.
Someone asked if there's like a simulator that the pilots train on outside of real dives. Is that something that exists, or is all the training on actual dives?
Well, so there are ROV simulators that they can use for training, but for our pilots here on the off time, they're like maintaining the ROV and that sort of thing. We don't have like a simulator we fire up here for them, so their work is practical on the ROV. Yeah.
Yeah, there is simulators you get, like certain companies will have
Yeah, they're out there. They are a product that you can get. But yeah, ours is largely practical on board.
How many samples do we need? Let's see.
As many as we can.
Yeah.
Todas las muestras. Necesitamos todas las muestras.
This one straight back in.
Let's see.
Yeah, do you want a photo thing all
Yeah, once you get the last
Okay.
push core in, we'll
Yeah.
just do a frame grab.
Yep.
cool? Right, ready when you are, Tyler.
Tenemos cerca de 20. Is it
You want
19?
water too?
19
That's a question for
tubos.
Danilo, do you want
Yeah.
water?
No,
thanks.
I would not be
I think we're good at this site because
Okay.
the CTD goes down.
Yeah, no water.
Yeah.
Sí, tenemos 19 tubos. Y cuando podemos,
Yeah, I think that's us.
Uh,
Right, dialing back again. Okay.
Always get a picture and
nosotros intentamos
Your Christmas card, Mike.
yeah, it's gonna be. Family's gonna love it.
Merry Christmas.
take,
Frame.
sacar
Look at that.
todos.
Not even shadow.
FPV drone stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all did get to hear the pilots. They said there are simulators, and
Ready when
Alex
you are. We're good on the frame grab.
Alex said this, but majority of the a majority of the experience that the pilots here have is very practical. And one of the pilots just said it's been a long time since they'd seen an ROV simulator. So
Yeah.
yeah, they routinely do these dives, so it's very easy. It sounds like to
That's,
get
all
some
lights
good
off?
practice
That's how
in.
much natural light we've got.
That's
Okay. there
that's
you go.
natural light right there.
Okay.
So-
there's
All the
a
lights are
little
off right
bit-
now.
little bit of sunlight
So this is
on there.
people were asking about how much light there is. All the ROV lights are off now, so this is the natural sunlight you're seeing.
You can see a little bit.
So sin las luces del ROV. Y con las luces.
Now, Tyler, did you do simulator stuff in school?
We trained on small RVs, like the Falcon and the Outline 1000.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no simulators. It was all practical.
Okay. So yeah, even just talking with Tyler here, he did a school
I've been
program for ROV piloting, and even with that, they were able to do practical work using small ROVs. So even with that, it wasn't simulator. It's good to know. But yeah, there are simulators out there. But if you have a job like this or in the industry, you're flying enough potentially that it's all just
Oh boy.
practice.
Sandy stuff. Yeah. I think Alex.
That looks like shells.
Shells,
Shells,
I started with
conchas.
one day.
In your whole career? How long you been doing this, Mike?
15 years.
All right, so in 15 years, Mike spent one day on a simulator, and the rest has been practical.
This is nice. This is what you want. Right there is obscured by a hose.
Right? Self-inflicted wounds, huh? That's too fast.
Yeah. Just to come off and just push it down from the top and get on.
Roll stuffs.
It looks like kind of sandy stuff, but that one seemed like it had some shell rubble in it that was falling apart.
Yeah, shells are probably
Hmm.
So, this I think is a good example of why they put down all the cores first before pulling any of them out. Because sometimes you get cores that are gonna fall out a little at the bottom, like here with these shells. And when we get them, we do actually still, we take everything we can, so sometimes shells from the sediment wind up in our sample tubes. That happened at some of our first sites. I was processing the sediment and wound up putting a lot of shells mixed with sand in the tubes. Any other sensing equipment? Yeah, so that might be a good question for Brett, actually. Brett,
I can't. What was it?
sensing equipment on the ROV besides the camera.
Oh.
So we do have depth, temperature, salinity,
pH.
pH, O2 concentration and saturation. Yeah, so there are a lot of very practical sensors that help us and the pilots.
Yeah, I mean, even right now we have another temperature sensor. We have the high temp probe. Anyone who's watched like a hydrothermal vent dive has seen us use that. Also, we have various sonars on the sub. If we want to know like our altitude off bottom, or we also have a forward-facing sonar that occasionally will fire up if we're looking for, say, like a rock cluster in an otherwise flat plane. That could be very useful. Or if we're looking for, methane bubbles, we'll also fire up sonars for that sometimes. And those are the standards that we have on. But then, I mean, the scientists a lot of times will bring out their own equipment. We've had different instruments for collecting or sensing other chemicals in the water, or we've had people use, environmental DNA samplers on board, and yeah, there's a lot going on the sub.
I don't think that we brought anything to put on the ROV, but some of the science party, or one person who I think y'all have heard a lot from is Jacob, who has probably explained this, but he has some special sensors actually on the inside of some of the, normally one of the core tubes. I can't remember which number it is, but we might be able to see it when it comes up.
It's number 11.
So on number 11, there's a strip of electrical tape you can see, and that's actually protecting a piece of sensor, and it's a sensor to measure pH and oxygen. So he has a special camera called the VisiSense, and he takes a photo after we get the core back up to measure oxygen through the core and pH through the core.
Brett, someone was wondering if acoustic sensing could help in choosing the coring sites. Do you want to talk about the mapping that helped you with the canyon stuff?
Yeah, when we get to a station, we usually do what's referred to as multi-beam mapping from the ship to get a sense of what the topology of the ocean floor is like, and that gives us an idea of where we might want to sample. For instance, if we find like an alluvial a fan, you know, we're after, you know, sort of organic, a lot of sediments with a lot of organic matter deposition. So we'll go and look for alluvial fans, and as opposed to like eroded surfaces, like on a peak where there's a lot of water flow and it could be really rocky. So we try to avoid those places. So yeah, we essentially use acoustics to get a map of the seafloor.
We do have a sub-bottom profiler on the ship as well, and that can actually tell us sort of what the bottom looks like as far as very rocky or, you know, soft sediment or dense sediment. But yeah, a couple different ways.
It's kind of warm in here. I don't know, maybe that's what the noise was.
It's final gasps.
I was just saying. It's like making noise. Is it too loud?
No, it wasn't just that.
No, it was.
Just going to mute the mics here momentarily. We'll be right back.
We can reuse it.
Yeah. Let's redo it.
Is this alright spots?
Where did it get pulled from? Was it?
Up next to two.
Yeah.
I mean, up there.
Oh yeah, yeah. So then down there would be good. Then nothing's gone there.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you were. Yeah.
Try and slam it right next to two, but on the other side, so you've got a short distance to go in, and then you just jump it straight in. Slam it. Yeah. Just get it up. So, up there, so it's a short journey. You get your normal hop, but you can just keep it straight up and down. Slam. Yeah. Engage slamming. Watch it down and go in a sec. Just
worry about it. Just push it in. It's gonna happen here.
You want to try and do this number 2 before I put this arm away? Do you do this, or do you want to
Yeah,
just take one
as
step?
well.
Or
Just try and take. I mean, it's probably all gonna fall out. So might as well try it. Try and take it. If it falls out, we can try pushing it again. Just push it in. Oh, it's gone.
do you want to try it, or
Yeah, it's
just dump it?
try it. Dump it. Try it quick if you could. Yeah.
Yeah. Somewhere where you can get your arm from the down, even if you need to put your arm like straight out to get it, so you get more clearance for the rail. You'll just have one move. Yeah, pretty much it's just backwards.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
I think it's 16. Maybe needs a little tap.
Yep.
So I'll try and repeat this in Spanish, but the sediment is just very soft, so having a little bit of trouble, as y'all can see, but the pilots are doing a great job. Let's see. El sedimento está muy blando, pero estamos los pilotos lo están haciendo muy bien con el sedimento, pero es un poco difícil. How many cars left? Article.
11 to pull.
Y tenemos 11 tubos en el sedimento.
You know the handle. If it's not in the right place, go by the handle, not the position.
Buenos días a las nuevas personas. Soy Emily. Estoy un científica. Lo siento, mi español no es muy bien. Soy de Texas, pero no hablo mucho español en Texas. Tenemos Dr. Britt Baker y Natalie Sarno de la Universidad de Texas en Austin, y Ian está aquí también. Él es de Harvard en Cambridge, Massachusetts, y Luke está aquí. Tenemos muchas conchas en el sedimento hoy. Muchas personas de Argentina. Buenos días. Tenemos más suerte con los tubos en el segundo grupo. Natalie, how many More tubes? Sorry, I keep asking.
That's okay. 8.
8. 8 más tubos para el ROV. Natalie está escribiendo todas las notitas para la expedición esta domingo. Tina Ford. Daniel está aquí también. Él es de la Universidad de California, San Diego. Sí. Él está trabajando con lipids. Lipid labeling en español es etiquetado de lípidos en el sedimento y en el sedimento y el agua. Do we get 11?
Not yet.
Okay.
Those will be at the end
Okay.
because they're on the porch.
When these samples come up, what's your interaction?
Yeah, so once the samples get up here, first we're gonna make sure they get to the cold room on board. So we want to keep them very cold so that all of the processes, all of the biological processes and degradation processes that are happening slow down. So the group and the work done by Dr. Brett Baker, we work largely with DNA. And so in the sediment, DNA can be degraded very quickly, especially if it's not kept cold. So our specific work is we'll get it, keep it cold, and we will preserve it. So there's different ways we can preserve it. The biggest one is just getting it into minus 80 degrees Celsius. So we have 2 negative 80 freezers on board. So we'll take these big tubes, put it in some smaller tubes, and then we'll throw it in the freezer. certain parts of the sediment we do keep in other ways. So some of it we'll put in what we call glycerols. So it's actually like a little preservative made from some media and glycerol that will help the microbes not burst when we put them at some colder temperatures. So we'll put some of the sediment in there, and then we have some other special preservative solution that will help maintain the DNA so that when we take the sediment back to lab, we can extract DNA and get much better yield. So yeah, that's largely what we're doing in terms of preservation. We'll also process some of the sediment on board and extract DNA here and try to work with it. So that's
What does the DNA in the sediment tell you, Emily?
in the sediment. So the DNA we're processing is both from sediment and water, but a lot can be told from the microbes that live in the sediment about carbon degradation and other biogeochemical cycles that are happening here. No one has really done in-depth studies about the sedimentary microbes that live off the coast of Uruguay and South America in general. So we're largely looking for Asgard Archaea. It's the group that is most closely related, the prokaryotic group most closely related to eukaryotes. So we're trying to target sediments to see if we can find Asgards, as well as any other novel groups that we have not been able to find elsewhere. So that's largely what we're doing. A lot of other groups are working on culturing the sediments to try and preserve those novel groups alive, as well as any Asgards that we're able to find. So yeah, and someone said it in the chat, discovering the underwater world. Particularly, we're looking at the part that you can't see. So it's very, very fun to see all the visible fauna and everything, but we're looking mostly at all of the little guys that no one can see right here on the screen. So that's why a lot of our work relies on preservation and cultivation, because it's very, very hard to what we call in situ, so like in their live environment, just look and observe them. So we have to rely on techniques that allow us to take them back to lab or preserve them as they are right now very quickly. And we'll try to repeat some of that in Spanish. Let's see. Para el sedimento y el agua, cuando tomarlo, o cuando nosotros lo tomamos, tomamos el ADN. Tomamos el ADN del agua y el sedimento y buscamos por los Asgard Archaea y otros grupos.
Just to do it off to the side there.
Yeah, we're
Well, I think those ones are clustered, Brett, for, okay.
It's
Okay,
We can't.
that's fine, I'll just make a note for them.
So some of the scientists on board where we can request the placement of certain cores, so we're trying our best to get cores in the way that people request, but sometimes it's difficult, especially with sediment like this.
Hmm?
This isn't our spot to do it together.
Hmm?
This isn't our spot to do that together.
Yeah, I'll just write it in the notes.
Is this core 11? Okay. Este es el tubo de Jacob. Es un tubo especial para oxígeno. So Jacob, who's been on here a lot, is very knowledgeable on here. He prepares a tube every dive. So this is his tube that we're trying to get. You can tell because it has some electrical tape on the outside to help preserve some of the sensors that he has there. So Natalie was talking about it a little bit earlier, but those are for pH and oxygen sensing. You can tell we're having a little bit of trouble.
We keep describing so much fun. Like here somewhere. Nice, close. Yeah, like as soon as you've got it out, I'll come out with the coach and just try and get off quick. Yeah. Easy move.
What do you think is gonna work? At this point?
Yeah. Some sediments are trickier than others.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Right. Close to that.
I guess this is 9. Does Jacob have 2 that are like that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought he had one, but on the messages it looked like 2.
Push down anymore. Just.
Let's see. Someone in one of the chats asked where we're from. So I think all of the scientists in the room right now are from the U.S. So, or at least from the U.S. universities involved in the expedition. Personally, I'm from Texas. Natalie is from Colorado. Brett is from Wisconsin, the land of cheese curds. Ian, where are you from? Ian's from California.
You couldn't tell.
Daniel is also from California. Luke?
Massachusetts.
Okay, Luke is from Massachusetts. So,
We do have a scientist from France. though.
yes, Laura, we have a scientist on board who is from France. Unfortunately, she's not here right now. I think she's filtering water.
She's now at the University of Rhode Island.
Yes, now she's at URI, the University of Rhode Island. But yes, she is from France originally.
Yeah, that's cool. Thank you.
Did we get 11?
It's 9, sorry. I thought it was.
Prior to Wisconsin.
Sounds like we might also be getting water from here. So the ROV also has some Niskins on it, very similar to the CTD that we deploy. So we might fire those off. So outside of the sediment, when the ROV comes up, we can also collect the water, and we treat it very similarly to how we do the CTD water. We'll take it and then filter it through so that our group catches all the microbes on those filters, and we can try and get DNA from them later. Yeah, so someone is talking about RNA later. So we actually have a lot of that on board with us. So DNA and RNA degrade at different rates. RNA is much more fragile than DNA. So really anytime you're working with RNA, you have to use extra special preservation, and you have to be very, very clean. A joke I hear a lot is, don't even look at your sample because the RNA will degrade. So you have to be very, very quick and very careful and try your best to be cold when you're processing the samples. So yeah, we also brought a lot of RNA later. Natalie actually was going to try and make a lot on board. You can make, or scientists can make reagents like that on their own. But yeah, it does take quite a bit of effort and preparation.
Just get it enough so that you can.
There are some solutions that also help to preserve DNA as well. So we do have some of that on board as well that we've been using. Ooh.
Alright. So what you want to do is confirm your azimuth inward. And then yaw. Yeah, yaw to there. Right. Yeah. Turn your jaws clockwise. Hold your jaws open. One lump. Yeah. And then azimuth inward. That's it. Whoop. A little bit.
You got it. Oh.
Just keep the mud. Just mark it as not completely
Yeah.
mixed up,
I
so
will-
we're not
I
like
will
doing
do that.
profiles.
So please open your jaws up fully.
What number was this?
6.
So Natalie and Brett right now are making sure that we have a good record of
Just
how.
push it in. We'll just mark it as all mixed up. We can still use it if we can get it in.
How number 6 was sampled, core number 6. So what we like to do in an ideal world where all sediment comes out perfectly is we like to take depth profiles. So we'll take the cores up and then we'll cut them into different sections. On board, we're particularly trying to be very high resolution, so we're trying to cut the cores every 2 centimeters. So we'll take the top to 0 to 2 centimeters, and then we'll go down from there as far as we can in the core. Some other groups are taking bigger chunks, like 0 to 5 centimeters or 0 to 6. But we can use sediment that has been mixed up like this, so we'll still be able to collect the sediment. We just won't have quite as much depth resolution or metadata to go with the core. And even with cores kind of, falling out on themselves, we still get much better samples or much higher resolution samples than you can get without an ROV. So Natalie and I have been on a cruise before where we had to use a multi-core, but we also had to use a box core, which is essentially just like a big claw machine for mud. So even with some difficulties with coring, it's still way better than some of the other methods you can use to get sediment from the bottom of the ocean. When the box cores are used, it comes up and you've just got a big bucket basically of mud, and it's all mixed together, so you really don't know like what part came from where. You could have the top on the bottom and the bottom on the top by the end of it. So these are still great. We can use the video to go back and see how big that core was, what depths were potentially mixed together.
Switch. Yeah.
So yes, exactly, a limited sample is still a sample.
Lady and gentlemen, Ian Hughes.
So Brett is swapping out with Ian right now. Ian's one of the scientists I mentioned who's from California but now works at Harvard in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Are you swapping out too, Natalie? I think someone's supposed to come for you. Let's see.
Are you ready?
Is it Luke's turn?
Okay. This is 8, 11, 10. So 8 furthest, 11 in the middle, and 10 is closest. You good? Yeah.
Do what?
So once the core is successfully made it into the
I think he was doing it on his computer, but if you paper log, you'll probably combine his if you wanted to.
and then you'll put in
As far as I understand. Yeah.
station 10.
Yeah.
And then this SOI 8, that's the die, and then underscore with the push core number. So you see either 8, 11, or 10.
So we're
And then
taking
you
a
can take
moment
notes
so
in
that
case
scientists
one
can
fell out or if
track,
there's, like, error
get each other
cracks or
caught up.
bubbles, then you'll write that in the notes and then hit submit. But wait till it's like fully in the vehicle. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's it. Great. Yeah. Good luck.
Okie dokie. I
And the
think
station and dive number all be in the instrumentation.
okay, Luke is taking over logger position. I'm gonna hand the mic over to Ian and Luke now. Adios a todos. Solo para mí. Okay, here you go, Luke.
This is number 8. Sweet. All right, sweet. Push core number 8, all set.
All right, push core 8.
All right, well, welcome everybody. We just changed watch, as you heard. My name is Ian Hughes, and logging we have Luke Chow. We're the New England crew, some of the New England crew, and yeah, we're picking up a bunch of these cores here. One of the big sort of questions that we have in a lot of this kind of situation is what is the sort of type of sediment we're working at here, and for the most part, we want a bit of a kind of muddier sediment that is a little more stuck together. But we're looking at here is much more sandy, and that can be very difficult to kind of core. And so it's a little bit tricky, but you know, we're figuring it out, which isn't too bad. All right, sweet. Core
All right.
number 10.
Push core 10.
Any these last push cores are kind of funky. They have that tape on them. Some of the tape is because there's little holes in the push core for looking at oxygen profiles. So we pull it up, stick a sensor into the hole in the side of the plastic. And some of them have integrated sensors, like number 11 here, that has an oxygen sensitive tape. And basically this changes color depending on the amount of oxygen. And we have to tape it because it's sensitive to light, and so you can bleach out the kind of foil here that is oxygen sensitive. But just below that tape is this interesting foil, and we can look at how the oxygen changes throughout that core, which is always fun.
Okay, push core 11.
Push core 11. Nice job, that's brutal. And then
So we've got a couple Niskins.
sweet.
Do you want us to do it sitting here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just fire 'em right there. Yep.
Sweet. Have we fired any yet so far? Okay, sweet.
Do the adjust the valve.
I think some of, yeah, fire them off, all of them, why not? Alright, I'm gonna try a little Spanish here. Still learning, so forgive me, but ahora estamos recolectando agua con botellas, se llama Niskin, con el sub. Alright, Niskin 1 fired. And number 2, number 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, sweet. Yeah, that's all of you. You've been fast enough.
Range ROV.
Go ahead.
We are about to come off bottom.
About to come off bottom. Thank you.
Thanks, sweetheart.
Thank you, sweetheart.
This is just
Everybody's blushing.
All right, well, we are, as you heard, about to come up off bottom. So we'll keep the camera rolling until we're recovered out of the water, but probably drop mics down here. And we'll see you all for the next dive. Stay tuned.